Good afternoon. This is Charlene Waldner from Absolute Therapy. I'm a registered massage therapist, and I'm here today with Nick Walker, who is the owner of Frontrunners Victoria. Today we're going to do a little talk about when you should replace your running shoes. Personally, I find this is a common area of focus, especially for clients that come in with old shoes, wondering why their knees or ankles or low back hurts. So here we go.
Yeah.
So Nick, how long should running shoes last?
Typically, most companies say shoes will last about 500 miles or 800K.
Okay.
There are obviously many factors that can change the longevity of a shoe. As we were kind of mentioning, there can be things about the weight of the runner type of terrain that a person is running on, whether it's concrete or asphalt or they're on the trails. The size of the runner, so a slighter runner will obviously have a little bit more life than someone who's got a bit of a bigger frame. And then there's also lots of different styles of shoes that some are a higher cushion that can last a little bit longer, and some are a lighter weight trainer that maybe is just for your short, fast runs but won't last as long.
Okay. So the weight of the shoe makes a difference too.
A little bit, yeah.
Are there any signs to tell if your shoes are coming to an end? Like, is there a test that people could do on their shoes?
Yeah,
visual?
So often with the shoe, when the shoe is starting to wear out, we like to look at the sole. That'll tell us kind of how the shoe is worn, so the wear pattern, whether it's holding the foot right or not. Then what we can do is you can kind of do a squish test to see how mushy the shoe gets.
Okay.
If you kind of think of a sponge, if it's really soft and mushy, then usually what's happening is the shoe isn't absorbing the impact anymore, and so it's becoming very mushy, where it's not having that resiliency that you would normally feel in a new shoe. And so giving kind of the thumb test through the forefoot, as well as the flexibility through the forefoot, kind of shows whether the shoe is wearing down. You can also look on the side of the shoes. You'll kind of get what's called stress lines, where the foam is compressed and then it normally rebounds, but eventually it doesn't rebound to its full self, so it kind of has what we call stress lines, or it looks like wrinkles in the side wall of the midsole.
Okay, I think I've seen those recently in my shoes, which is why I came in last week to buy new runners. Are there any ways to lengthen the life of your shoes? Like, for instance, would you throw your shoes in the washing machine to clean them?
Ideally not. The best thing you can do is a scrub brush in the sink. I've heard of some people take them in the shower with them and scrub them in the shower, and I usually never recommend the washing machine. Sometimes a cold cycle maybe, but it is quite hard on a shoe. And what you can do too is that when you wash the shoe with a brush is pull the insole out and kind of just lightly pack it with some newspaper, and it'll help to pull the moisture out and dry a little bit quicker.
Okay, awesome. And how many pairs of shoes ideally would you have if you're a runner? Say, I mean, if you were training for a marathon, how many pairs of shoes would you have? Would you have the same model of shoe, or would you have maybe, for instance, one like Adidas, for example, or one Saucony?
Yeah, so this is another thing that can lead into lifespan of a shoe, is alternating your shoes. Usually, especially if you're training for a marathon or something longer like that, having at least 2 pairs of shoes that you can alternate. Okay. Foam works on kind of rebound, so you compress the foam and then the next day you run on again, it's rebounded overnight. So if you can have a longer rebound time, you can get more longevity out of the shoe. And I always usually try to recommend alternating the shoes, because it just changes up the muscles that you're using. So either whether it's 2 different brands, or if it's the same brand and you're going from a lightweight trainer to a high cushion trainer, just doing that helps vary up the systems. Just like when you're training, you never want to do the same thing over and over again, so varying the shoe will also help to kind of keep you injury free. Yeah,
it kind of shocks your foot a bit wearing different shoes, right? Do you have any runners particular that you're more partial to or wear?
It's totally individual to the person. Every company makes an equivalent shoe to each other, and each will say they're better than the other, but usually it comes down to how it fits and wraps around the midfoot and what feels natural with the foot. You never want to buy a shoe that you feel like you have to break in. You really want to have it feel right off the bat.
Right. And if someone was to come in and buy a new pair of running shoes, before they take them out for a run, would you suggest wearing them around the house a little bit or indoors?
Yeah, we definitely always recommend that you, because it's kind of hard to get a good idea when you're just in the store, so take them, wear them around the house, take them to a mall, take them to a treadmill and gym and give them a run.
Yeah.
We definitely want everyone to be happy in the shoe and make sure the shoe works for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you, yeah.
If you're looking for some new running shoes, you know where to go. Come down to Frontrunners Victoria. Thank you.
Thanks.